Hey guys, so today I want to talk a bit about not letting other people's judgment control your desires in life or your current reality and what you want to work towards in your daily life, because that is all up to you. And when we live from other people's judgment, it's really not going to do us any good, because that's what they want for us, not what we want for us. And what we want for ourselves is love and happiness, even if we don't say we feel that anymore, because some people have lived by other people's judgment for so long that they feel so numb inside, because like nobody understands them or anything that they're surrounded by, and that everyone's like around them refusing to understand the word that they're saying. So it can make people feel like they don't feel anything anymore. But in reality, it's like they still really deep down, they're still feeling. It's just that our heads, and I've made plenty of videos about talking about the difference between our heads and our hearts, because the head tricks you a lot with that. Your head likes to tell you you're not feeling anything, or your heart's broken and you don't feel anything at all and you never will ever again, right? But that's in our heads. It's not actually our heart. Our heart is, we are suffocating our heart with our heads and trying to shut out our heart. But our heart is the one giving us the answers. When we trust someone who breaks our heart, that's because our head guided us through that, right? When you want a bad ex back, that's because your head is telling you that you need that person, right? Because now you're having to face self-healing. Now you're having to face yourself again. And no matter whose fault it was in the relationship, your head's going to be going back to that, because our heads are toxic, because we're trained and they're programmed that way, right? So a lot of times it's going to drag you back to the toxic situation, right? And our hearts are going to be the ones guiding us through love and light, and through that only, telling us that's like, no, you have yourself, you can love yourself, learn to love yourself and love will come to you. No, do this job, it will make you happy. Don't worry about the money isn't going to make you happy. See, and again, your current job situation, your head could be telling you, oh, I love this job because it gives you a lot of money, but that's an ego perspective. That's your head talking to you. Your heart is looking for not money. Your heart is looking for love for you. So therefore, a job that you're actually going to love doing, right? So it doesn't matter what people think about you. It matters what you think about you. It doesn't matter what everyone wants you to do in your life. It matters what you want to do in your life, and that only. We are best of service to the world, to everyone else around us, and do the best of service for ourselves when we are following our hearts, not our heads. Your head is going to guide you to chaos, right? Because our heads can't perceive love the way our hearts do. Our head does not speak through love, it speaks through what it learns, what it takes in. Our hearts follow what is going to make us the happiest. And that's when the ego and the head and whatever can all just get in the way, because it tries to tell you, well, this is blocking you, this is keeping you from being able to achieve your goals, well, there's this and this and this, and that's the reason why you can't. But your heart tells you do it anyways, because you'll be so grateful that you did. No joke, right? Our heads are going to be trying to stop us the whole time, though, because everyone is busy programming each other out of their own fears and insecurities, whether they've done their own shadow work or not, which if they still have those fears, they have not. And so then they project that onto everyone else. And I've planned to make a video about this for a while now, but it's kind of called about playing tough guy. I might have already made a video about this. I don't think I did, though. Not one that I really like, so I didn't publish it publicly or anything. I just kept it private. I think I actually even deleted it completely. But I tried recording that a few times, but it might already be up. I don't know. But basically, it's like playing tough guy. Everyone thinks they're being so tough by holding in their fucking problems and whatever, because they think that they've done the shadow work. They think that they've faced it. But no, you are still projecting your worries and, your self-doubt and your own insecurities and your self-hate on everyone else, right? That's what a lot of people like to do to each other, and say that they've already conquered their bad emotions from the past, and they've already done the shadow work and all that. But in reality, they're still out there projecting everything onto everybody else, making everyone else feel. And this is why other people's judgment on you and your life purpose does not matter, because they don't even, most of the time, they're not even following their life purpose. If they're bugging you about theirs and yours, they're not in the right place, okay? If someone is telling you that you're not living your life to the fullest, that you're not living your life purpose, that you are not doing the right things in life. They're not living their life purpose, okay? You're headed towards yours if people are getting at you for the way that you want to live your life, right? And from your heart space, of course. Like, if you're living from your heart, you're going to be aiming towards something that's going to make you happy. Not your ego happy, not your head happy, because money's a thing that we all need to live with, right? Like, no. You're not going to be thinking in things like that. You're going to be thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to wake up the next day to do this job or see this person, whatever, right? You're going to be so happy and excited to live every second of your fucking life. And because most people don't do that for themselves, they're going to project all their bullshit on you and tell you that you're doing everything wrong. So that's a good way to know that you're headed in the right direction in your life, because the people who are not doing that and who have not done that out of fear, doubt, self-hate, all of that, they're going to be the ones coming after you because they haven't done that for themselves and they hate themselves for that. They hate their life for that. They feel like the whole world is against them because you, for one, are not taking that shit. You're not believing that all life is hell. You're actually aiming for something better in life than something that they want you to do. That's something that everyone might see you doing, but you do not want to do. And that's totally fine because none of our life purposes are ever going to be the same. They're all unique. They're all different. They're all special in their own way. Some may have similarities, some may not. Like, that's why listening to other people's judgment about our life purposes, it's like, no, you know what you're meant to be doing. Not anybody else does. Nobody else can feel what your heart feels. Your heart will guide you in the right direction. And you know deep down of what you want to do. It's just when we get past all that fear and all of that, that's when you can see that. But until then, we are programmed to have all these fears, doubts, and insecurities that show up in us because of all the judgment that we've received all of our lives, and usually because that person has received that judgment and hasn't done their shadow work or anything like that. So again, they project it onto us, and then next thing you know, we're wondering, well, should I do this? Is it right for me? This doesn't seem realistic. I need to grow up. I need to be more realistic, whatever it may be, right? But whatever it is, just know that you are not wrong with it. As long as it's positively serving you and something that is going to positively service the world, because realistically everything, like when we're living in our life purpose, we are positively serving the world and we're positively serving ourselves as well. And we're going to live every day being extremely enthusiastic and happy and full of energy that we're just going to be so excited to live every second of our lives, right? But when we're living on other people's judgment, it's not going to be like that because we're letting someone else create our reality. Like, really, it's not going to benefit anyone to follow what everybody else is doing. That's why nobody is happy right now, because nobody is doing what they actually want to be doing. Most people have lived off of fear their whole life, and they're just living that way because it's what's comfortable rather than actually fighting for what they want, right, and what they believe in and what they value the most in life. They're not fighting for any of that because they're too scared to do that, and then they project all that fear and doubt that they have and the self-hate because they are not doing what they want to do. They project that all onto everyone else who is actually doing what they want to do and came here to do. That's why I say it's a good thing to actually have that happen, because it makes you much more aware that you are stepping out of all the control games and everything, and you're actually stepping into your own power, taking control of your reality, whereas those other people that are getting after you have not done that because they're too afraid to do that. They're too afraid to step out of their comfort zone and do that, right? So it's a whole different story when you actually take your own life in your own hands and don't let other people's judgment create your reality for you. You actually listen to your heart and listen to yourself, and you know what you want to do. And if you don't know, then open yourself up to the possibilities. Write stuff down. Write it all down. What do you enjoy doing right now? And what is the meaning of whatever it is? Like, even if you don't feel like you feel anything. I don't know what I'm thinking of We Bought a Zoo right now, but I'll just say as an example. You know, there's a kid in that movie who draws out his pain, basically. And I know that a lot of people actually do that, like whether you write songs or you draw or whatever, out your pain because you think that you don't feel anything or whatever, or even if you do still feel stuff and you know that, right, and you're aware of that, but you like draw or write out your pain or whatever, however you deal with that. So it might be drawing, it might be writing, whatever. Why do you do that? What does that express within you? And then once you figure out what that is, look at why that is and keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper into that, because eventually you're going to discover that you were this totally different person before any of that has really clouded your judgment, has clouded who you are, and has really made you somebody that you're not, and has made you shut out pieces of you that are actually really, really important for your life purpose. Like, I know that I used to hate really, I used to love as a kid. I grew up really loving like colors and flowers and bright things and fairies and oh my God, all these really amazing bright things. And I'm not saying that I don't now, because that's just it. Now I'm doing my own healing work and shadow work, so now all that stuff's coming back up. However, I went through this stage that I'm still experiencing right now as well. Like, I'm still healing from it because I spent so many years being devoured by darkness, literally, and just pushing myself to live a life of darkness and literally anger all the time. So I went from like pink to black, from hearts to black hearts, whatever. Like, I went from very light to being very dark, and now I'm kind of in between because still working through all the healing and all of that. And I'm sure that I'll still, it still has formed a part of me that is definitely real and has evolved from that experience. But I am not someone who hates flowers like I used to claim that I did, and I did at that time. That's not who I was. I was just blurred. My perception was blurred because I didn't want to be happy, because I thought that happiness wasn't real. It didn't exist and whatever, right? So that's just what I'm talking about. Write it all down, dig deeper. I'm really running out of time, so I'm really trying to end this video. So sorry if the ending's kind of slacked, but dig deeper into what your pain means for you, because that will tell you what you're hiding from yourself, and that is part of your life purpose. That's part of your happiness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos.